That's the way they
Oh, dress shoes.
present
Okay.
themselves.
Oh, and freaky
Oh,
socks.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Let me put my shades on.
Right.
Here we go. Just happen to have them.
Terrific.
Oscar Gaxiola. Okay. Oh, but okay. So thank you, Oscar.
The one you just scratched out.
Okay. 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 Sit Lali, eighth grader. Good evening. Do I have a motion to adjourn closed session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we are reconvening open session at 7:04 p.m. First on the agenda tonight, we have a full school board meeting, but first let's have Frisbee Middle School 7th grade student Oscar Gaxiola lead us in the pledge.
Good evening, members of the Distinguished Board of Education, parents, community members, and students. My name is Oscar Gaxiola. Good evening. I'm the representative from Frisbee Middle School, and I will be leading you in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening. Please stand and join me. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Oscar. And now, 8th grade Frisbee Middle School student Citali Gaxiola will introduce fellow classmate Arlette Martinez as she performs a student composition titled Unknown on her violin.
Is that Citlali?
Yeah. Hello, my name's Citali Gaxiola, and I have the pleasure to introduce to you today my fellow classmate Arlette Martinez. Arlette is an 8th grade student in Miss Henderson's Advanced Strings class. She will be performing today a song that she has composed called Unknown. Arlette, take it away.
Thank you, Arlette. That was lovely. And thank you, parents, guardians, and Frisbee staff for supporting our talented students. Okay. Do we have a report out of closed session?
Yes, we do. We have two. The first, the Board of Education took action to accept the resolution adopting in part and modifying in part advisory arbitration opinion and award for employee number 1679726. The roll call vote was unanimous. And second, the Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Eva Serrato, academic agent, math, science, and college and career pathways. The roll call vote was unanimous.
Okay, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, and I'm sorry, we have a preferential vote by our student board member.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. And we move on to presentations. In the beginning of this month, the Rialto Unified School District was notified by California Positive Behaviors Interventions and Supports Coalition, also known as PBIS, that staff members from Rialto and Carter High Schools, Jehu and Cusera Middle Schools, and Kelly Elementary School had earned the coveted and inaugural bronze level recognition. The language stated that all of our 5 RUSD schools reflected excellence in measurement of fidelity as well as efforts in implementing the core features of PBIS. According to PBIS coordinator Mrs. Melissa Rubio, this award exemplifies the leadership roles of our teachers and administrative staff as they successfully work to support all youth with academic enabling behaviors. We are most proud of this honor. Each RUSD school's name will be displayed on the California PBIS Coalition webpage. RUSD staff will also be recognized at the annual California PBIS conference held in Sacramento on September 22nd, 2016. PBIS, for the viewing audience who may not be aware, is a framework for enhancing the adoption and implementation of a continuum of interventions that can be visualized as a triangle. It has 3 tiers. Primary prevention with resources and support available to all children in a school. Secondary prevention for a more tailored group of students displaying at-risk behavior. And tertiary prevention, specialized individualized systems of support for students who display high-risk behavior. State recognitions are not easy accomplishments. This Board of Education understands that under the leadership and guidance of Superintendent Dr. Avila, that this RUSD's PBIS team is highly deserving of this prestigious honor. I know Mrs. Rubio has a couple of words, but first let's honor each honoree, and we have a keepsake plaque for each school that the principal can accept on behalf of their school. When I call your name, please come up to receive your certificates. Okay, from Rialto High School, Ann Cordaro. Lori Pavoto. Robert Carroll. Larry Bush. Nati Manzanera. Amanda McLeod Weiser. Letty Tapia.
Welcome back.
Carmen de la Cruz. Christy Streff. My former student, Frank Camacho. And Principal Arnie Ayala. Let's have another round of applause for our Rialto High School PBIS winners.
If you guys can get a little bit closer, just kind of do this.
Just don't say break out the wide angle lens, okay?
Got it. One second, social media. Thank you.
Jawaun, you do that like a sword, man.
Yeah. Oh, he's styling up there.
Okay, we now move on with Carter High School PBIS recognees, yes. Dr. Patricia Chavez, principal.
We're good enough again.
Anita Marsh.
Welcome and congratulations.
You make me proud.
Dr. Eric Schessler. Jeffrey Prentice. Novire Lee. I hope I pronounced that right. And LaShawn Tillman.
Still making me proud. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Quick picture, photo op. Okay, maybe get a little closer and just kind of do this. There you go. Know the drill. Okay, we need one keepsake picture and then one for social media. 1, 2, 3. And 1 second. Sorry. And
You pay the bill?
yes, sir. Thank you. Good job, guys.
Just having fun.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, we now move on with recognees from Crucera Middle School. Stephen Pierce. Corian Worthy.
Congratulations.
Sarah Switzer.
Congratulations. You make me proud.
Sandra Miller.
Congratulations.
Monique Conway, principal.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. You make me proud.
Jeremiah De La Cruz. Karina Rocha. And Myrna Bobadilla.
My student board member smiling the most. Smiling the most. 1, 2, 3. And one more. One more. I'm gonna need you guys a little bit closer on this. Can we all really like each other? 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2. Thank you.
And Jehu Middle School.
Okay, here we go again.
Recognized. Starting with Principal Armando Urtiaga. Richard Botris. Monica Garcia.
Good to see you, man.
Michaeline Kelmer. My God, how many years is it? Laura McMullen.
Oh, that was terrific. Congratulations. That was
And
precious.
Teresa Robinson.
Oh, that's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody together. Perfect. You guys already know the drill. Okay. 1. She's over there. 2, 3.
Lift yours.
Oh, Michaeline. Don't scare me, Michaeline. I know there's something in there. Okay.
It's in the mail.
1, 2, and 3. Okay, one more. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Good stuff.
What your own cheerleader? Congratulations. That's fine.
All right.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
And now we're moving on with Kelly Elementary School recognized. Helen Simmons. Anna Thompson.
You make me proud.
Judy Nava. Leona Whitley. Gail Bashaw. Adam Wagner, principal.
Congratulations, you make me proud.
Steve
I
Funky.
always remember Superman.
Oh,
That was awesome.
I'm sorry. It's what it looked like. And Dr. Mitzi Moreland. I hope that's
You make me proud.
Thank you. That's It's okay. Doing good.
Congratulations, you make me proud.
One, two, three, and one more. One, two, three. Nobody blink. And one more here. Almost done. Oh my gosh, everybody in Kelly paid attention. Drew, I'm sorry, I apologize.
And now I'd like to ask our coordinator of PBIS, Melissa Rubio, to come forward and tell us a little bit more about PBIS.
Congratulations. I haven't seen you in years. Yeah, thank you.
Good evening, honorable board members, Superintendent Avila, esteemed colleagues, and valued students and families. I am humbled to stand shoulder to shoulder with some very talented and compassionate Rialto staff family. They serve the community and our students in so many ways. Tonight, we honor them in the work they have done to earn bronze recognition by the state's PBIS coalition. At each of their schools, they have successfully implemented the tenets of PBIS and accomplished this with fidelity. We work hard for all students, but especially those that are the most vulnerable. These are the students that touch our hearts as they attend school each day, regardless of the challenges they experience in their lives beyond our hallways. Bronze award status is just the beginning of our goal over the next couple of years. And our goal is to create schools that are not only implementing PBIS successfully, but becoming exemplar models of PBIS for our district, the county, and the state. We are currently only one of 2 districts in our region of the county that have 100% of our schools implementing PBIS at every school site. This goal to reach gold will be accomplished best by the inspiring, visionary, and proven leadership of Superintendent Dr. Avila and the collective work of all of you who are here working to ensure that our schools meet the needs of every child. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
And I want to personally thank all who were involved in this process, teachers especially. We know that it's not possible without your support at Ground Zero, working with our kids. But also know that it also takes leadership to do this. And leadership is not defined by positions. Positions don't define leaders, nor do they exclude them. And so we really appreciate the leadership that the teachers have taken in this regard in order to make this happen. But again, we also know that some leaders in leadership positions are instrumental to the success of these efforts. And so for that, I want to recognize Melissa Rubio. For taking the lead in implementing PBIS district-wide to the degree that you've seen today. Shake their hands. Angela Brantley. Mr. Leonard Buckner. And I especially want to thank them because we know it's not an easy job to kind of be the disciplinarians for the entire district. It's not easy being the last stop from, in many cases, of kids who are recommended for one sort of discipline or another, and being able to support the site, support the principals and the teachers in making sure that we're redirecting kids in the right path while maintaining some degree of consequences, so to speak. Kids are still developing, and we are not here to simply penalize them for their behaviors, but to teach them to learn from their behaviors. And they have done a stellar job in navigating that effort in making sure that while we want to maintain high standards and expectations for our kids, that at the same time we help them develop and grow through the mistakes that oftentimes they make at this point in their lives. And also, we know that two of the most important positions in education are especially the teachers, the classroom teachers, who make all the difference in the world and the lives of kids. But there's no great school without a great leader either. And for that, I want to recognize the schools and the principals to please come up and receive this plaque on behalf of the Board of Education and me for the efforts that you have shown in implementing PBIS to the degree that it's been implemented at your sites. We know that it's not easy, because just like central office staff has to play that role, principals have to play that same role at the sites to make sure that we have high expectations there, while showing the support that needs to be committed to the classroom teachers for orderly instruction in the classrooms. And I know it's not easy, but I have seen in my years working with incarcerated youth, we made efforts to implement PBIS in camp schools in LA County. And I can tell you that it truly dispelled the belief that if you group kids who have committed egregious acts and you group them, that it's a formula for disaster, that you cannot help these kids transform their lives when they're around people who did similar acts. But through PBIS and through the implementation with fidelity by the staff and the open mind and the belief that these kids, regardless of what they did in those particular situations, do deserve the opportunity to truly turn themselves around. I've seen it happen where kids have had their sentences reduced significantly simply because they were able to make a difference, make a turnaround through the efforts of PBIS. So I truly am a big believer in PBIS, and I know that it's going to make a tremendous impact and difference for our kids and our community in the years to come as more schools get to the level of implementation that the 5 schools have exemplified here tonight. So first up, Carter High School. Rialto High School. Dr. Chavez and Mr. Ayala. J. Hugh Middle School, Mr. Urtiaga. Sarah Middle School, Ms. Monique Conway. And Mr. Adam Wagner, Kelly Elementary School. So thank you all so much for showing our kids the love and guidance they deserve.
A little bit closer. This is perfect. Okay, 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Principals look happy. Thank you.
Okay. It's always wonderful to recognize the great things going on in our
Ms. O'Kelly,
district.
we do have one late arrival from Rialto High School.
Oh.
I do want to recognize Nati Manzanera.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And we also have Salvador Navarro, one of our external coaches that supported our schools.
Everybody got a picture. Everyone got a picture. We'll just have you stand here, the board will be right behind you. Only two. It'll be much easier.
Congratulations.
We're gonna say, thank you.
There we go. Yeah, saving goal. Oh, this one's so much easier. Thank you, Jawaun. 1, 2, 3. And let me get one more. It's okay, we got it. Okay. Thank you. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Okay, now we move on to comments. First, we have public comments from the floor. At this point, any person wishing to speak on any item not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes. Do we have any, Dr. Avila?
Yes, we have two. First one is Mr. Hardy Brown.
Thank you, Board. Superintendent. My name is Hardy Brown. I am the Executive Director of the Black Voice Foundation. Also, I'm San Bernardino County Trustee for Area D. But tonight, I'm actually here as a community person who had the amazing opportunity to travel with staff from Rialto Unified School District with the Underground Railroad Tour this year, the Footsteps of Freedom. And I wanted to come by and say thank you. This has been an amazing year. We had 3 trips, 150 teachers, parents, and
Oh, that's
administrators
great.
from 5 different school districts, 2 different counties go on this tour. So you were one of many districts. And there were some things that we really appreciate. One, that your board member, Dina Walker, that she came onto the tour with us and experienced this with us. But understanding the collaboration between all the different districts, understanding how we can work together to increase achievement for our students, that was very, very key. And I brought a couple of things with me, and this is a gift for you, for the office. But I wanted to kind of go over this real quick, and then I wanted to say a couple other things. One, this picture is in Detroit, Michigan. This is at the Detroit River, where in the 1850s, slaves, freedom seekers, they would actually, this is the spot that they would leave the United States to go to their freedom, to go to Canada. And so we stood in the exact spot where they would go in honoring of them. This is at a school site in Buxton, Ontario, Canada. And in Buxton, Ontario, Canada, this is an amazing piece, and I'm sure Dina Walker will be able to speak to this later on. But this is a school that brought communities together. A white minister saw the perils of slavery, left the United States, and bought land in Canada and said, I want to do an experiment. If we give equal footing, equal rights to the enslaved, if they can make it here, can they achieve it? Can they achieve success? And they were able to do that. And so between all of these different things, there was just some amazing times that our educators had, and I think they learned a lot, and we're looking forward to continue to work with you in the future. And so this is for you and for the board. But then secondly, I saw that when I walked in that you have the UCAN HBCU Fair. And I want to just tell you a little testimony about that. Last year, my daughter, who just recently graduated high school, she went to UCAN here in Rialto. It was actually in Fontana last year. And then she went to the one in San Bernardino. Then she went to the one in Moreno Valley because she wanted this one particular school to pay attention to her. And after a year of working with her through this particular fair, my daughter, we just last week dropped her off to Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia, all because of the UCAN HBCU college fair that took place right here in this district. And so we want to say thank you so much, because this is providing opportunities for students. And these students are getting a chance to see something that they may or may not ever know before. So again, thank you so much, and we're proud to continue to work with you.
Thank you, Hardy.
Thank you so much. Well done.
Okay, Dr. Avila, do we have any others?
Yes, we do. We have one more. We have Miss Mirna Ruiz.
Good evening, Board. Dr. Avila. I'm here just to thank Linda Miner and Diane Romo and Dr. Avila. There was some, I guess, issues or concerns that were happening with, parent organizations, PTA and boosters, and I'm sure you're aware of, following policies and the concerns that we brought up to them. They were amazing and helping us out, and everything was resolved. So I'm just here, like I said, to thank Dr. Avila, Linda, and Diane for all their hard work and for meeting with us and listening to our concerns and everything. So thank you.
Okay, we move on to public comments on agenda items. Any person wishing to speak on any item on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes. Do we have any?
We have none.
Okay. We move on to comments from association executive board members, and I see REA is approaching the podium.
No running tonight. Good evening, Board. Good evening, Dr. Avila. I have a request this evening, and I'm sure you'll agree with my request and be more than happy to do it. As you know, Prop 30 was passed in 2012, and that increased the sales tax by 0.25%, which will be expiring at the end of 2016. That's a couple months away. And the other part of the tax was a tax on the top 2% of wage earners in California. And we are hoping to extend that tax for another 12 years. CTA has given me a resolution, and all the presidents across our great state of California are asking their school boards to back the Prop 55 resolution to extend the tax for another 12 years. The sales tax will expire as planned at the end of this year, but we are asking that our school boards support the passing of Prop 55. We are still not out of the woods. They are saying there will be, the governor predicts a $55 billion hole in education budgets in 2 years if this tax does not get extended. So what I have here is a resolution for the Children's Education and Healthcare Protection Act of 2016, yes on 55. Part of the money is also going to go to health care for our poorest children and their families. So it's not only affects K-12 and community college education, but also health care for our neediest students. So I have a copy of it for your perusal. Whenever you can get it on the board agenda, if you so choose, I would really appreciate it. May I approach?
Yes. Thank you.
And that's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, CSEA? Nothing tonight, okay. Communication Workers of America, CWA? Oh, there we go.
And good evening, everyone. And I just wanted to say, welcome our new school board member, and it's nice to be back in class. And good evening.
Thank you. And is there a representative here from the Rialto School Managers Association? No? Okay. And moving on, comments from the superintendent.
Thank you, President O'Kelly, and once again, just want to thank staff members from the 5 schools that were recognized for the implementation of PBIS. We know that it takes a true team effort, and together I know that we can continue to make a tremendous difference. Just quickly, I want to thank the staffs at Frisbee Middle School and Kolb Middle School. I visited last week for back to school night and saw some amazing things happening at each school. Kolb in particular really exemplified the true spirit of back to school night, as it showed very vividly evidence of it being a community affair, a family affair, but also maintaining the spirit of the academics there at the school. So thank you for doing an amazing job at Kolb Middle School. And I want to recognize or mention 2 staff members, one recent retiree, Ms. Betty Jones, for just doing some amazing things and the gesture that they exhibited during my recent visits to Casey Elementary and Morris Elementary. So Ms. Betty Jones had just come back from a trip in Africa, and while visiting the school, she extended me a beautiful handcrafted local pin from a village in Africa, and just the thoughtful gesture of, again, sharing with others unplanned was just something that truly struck me as the spirit that I see here in Rialto, where we have a very giving and supportive community outside of just planning particular events. It was random, and I want to thank you for it. I will treasure it and keep it as long as I possibly can. And Miss Susan Barrera, secretary at Morris Elementary School, there was an accident that happened recently in front of the school, and it was very, very early. I was on my way to Rialto High School and saw the emergency units on their way, and I knew that something probably wasn't right, so I followed, and sure enough, it was in front of Morris Elementary School. And when I got out, she was already out there helping out, getting information, came and approached me and wanted to know how she could be of help and what she could do to inform the staff, inform others who needed to be informed of what was happening. And it truly speaks to the spirit of staff members, and I know the majority of staff would agree that while there might be some out there somewhere who say this is not in my job description and will refuse to take the initiative to help out, there are others who, regardless of their job description, regardless if they are asked to help or not, just take it upon themselves to make a difference in a situation, especially in an emergency like what we had over at Morris Elementary School. So Susan Barrera, thank you so much for stepping up and doing what you didn't have to do, but I know that you wanted to do it out of the spirit of your heart. Also, I want to once again thank all of the staff members, community members who have participated in our district strategic plan. We hit another plateau today. We had all of the action plans presented by representatives from the action committees presented to the strategic planning team. And there were some amazing ideas that were cultivated over the past 2.5 months. We know that it's been an extensive and arduous journey and planning and meeting during the summer and trying to be consistent at all those meetings. We know that it's time away from family, but again, because you care, you have shown up week in and week out. And the products that we saw today, I know that they're going to be some amazing contributions to the instructional programs and the vitality of this district for the next 5 or more years. So thank you once again for all that you've done. The planning team will review the plans tomorrow and make some recommendations to the Board of Education in the coming weeks. And in the coming weeks, we will have a formal presentation of the strategic plan to the Board of Education and the community that we serve. And a special thank you to staff, Mr. Gary Kelly, Director of Facilities at the Sunrise Church of Rialto, for extending the courtesy to allow the Rialto Unified School District to use its facilities for many of the meetings that we've had for strategic planning at no charge. They have been amazing in accommodating our needs, furniture, sound systems, you name it, they've been there for us. So I want to thank you Mr. Kelly, for doing the amazing liaison between the church and the school district. And last, as part of our RUSD alumni spotlight comes from Carter High School. Kudos to Mr. Khalid Wooden, the 26-year-old Rialto native who plays for the Tennessee Titans. He is on the Titans roster and splits his time from between Rialto and Tennessee. Mr. Wooden graduated from Carter High School in 2008, where he played safety and quarterback and was a 4-year letterman. Mr. Wooden was a Citrus Bell League MVP in 2007. Congratulations, Mr. Wooden.
Okay. Our student board member, we're moving on with comments from board members.
Good evening, everyone. First thing is Saturday. One of my friends have orchestrated, and ASB has orchestrated. We're in a cancer run, for survivors of cancer on Saturday at Rialto Middle School. Anybody who wants to come and participate or run or anything like that, you guys are welcome to come. We just need participants and anything like that. Friday is our first football game. Go Ike. I'm actually I'm looking forward to this because we're actually looking a lot better than we were last year, and I'm just really excited about it.
Who are you playing?
Taquitos. They're like nobody. Nobody knows who they are. Yeah, so I'm going in there with high hopes, but back to school night is next week, so I'm actually really excited about that. Anything else I want to say? Oh, I just got word from Ms. Jeffrey that DSAC is starting in September 15th, so that's something I'm really looking forward to, and just get to know what's going on in Rialto School District and anything like that. So that's about it.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Ayala.
Well, thank you, President O'Kelly. Just a few notes on back to school for our kids and our community. People get in trouble in general, usually at the beginning of a adventure or towards the end. In the middle, they can get in trouble too, but not as often. So this is the beginning of the year. This is a special time to be alert as to the routines. And moving on into the routines, they're nothing new. Kids need to eat. They need to rest. They need exercise. They need to maybe carry some kind of notebook to write down the things that they need, the things they need to do, because they forget. Parents need to watch them to make sure they're doing their homework. They need to have fun. Sometimes kids get bored. Get out and get some exercise, get some fresh air, do something. You got to keep moving. Also overlooked are some kids that maybe could use a part-time job. It's not necessarily a bad thing, if you're working 10 hours a week. Not only that, if they can't find a job, even volunteer work is a step in the right direction. It looks really good on a resume, but it helps with the person's self-esteem, the contribution that they're making. That's often overlooked. And now for the rest of us, because I'd like to say a little bit something here. Those of us who are perhaps struggling a little bit, look at the basics. You too need food. You need shelter over your head. There's people who don't even have these basics. You need love in your life. You need self-esteem. Back to volunteering, doing something positive. And then when you get all these things taken care of, perhaps being self-actualized, like some of our volunteers here, come back and do their best to make a difference for someone else. That's huge. It pays big dividends. And last but not least is the vulnerability of our kids reaching puberty. I've mentioned this before. They're very vulnerable because the serotonins get depleted much more rapidly. That keeps kids in balance. And the best that we can do as parents is provide them with a supportive home life. If they have a place that they know they can go to that's safe and supportive, that pays huge dividends. And even though you want to yell at your child or something for doing something wrong, trust me, someone else has already yelled at them. Just hug them and give them that supportive environment. They'll get through that fog. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Ayala. Mr. Montes.
Thank you, Board President. Good evening, buenas noches. Buenas noches. Quali Uwali. Got you right there, Mr. Garza. I want to congratulate all of the again all of the returning students and the new students to our schools, particularly the high schools. My boys this year are sophomores, and it's nice to see them getting back into the groove of school and school activities and their academics. And as I drop them off at school every morning, I see everybody else on their way to school, and all the kids look like they're really back into the long summer break that they had. I want to thank, first of all, I want to congratulate all of the schools here in our district and thank our superintendent. It's very impressive that we're only one of 2 school districts to have 100% implementation of PBIS. PBIS has been long overdue, not just in our district, but in many districts across the country. And my heart goes out to all of these educators and all of the staff members involved in PBIS. So thank you. Thank you very much. I too want to thank Ms. Miner because I did receive a few phone calls from some very active volunteer parents that belong to a few different parent organizations that do as much as they can to volunteer and fundraise for the students, for their schools. They called with some concerns, and I want to thank Ms. Miner and everybody else who helped settle any concerns or whatnot, and really take into consideration everybody's points of views. I want to also piggyback on our local teachers union president, Mrs. Lindbergh's request that we support Prop 55. So I'd like to publicly request that we get the resolution put on next board meeting's agenda. We approve a lot of other resolutions, and this is a very good one that deserves as much, that is just as noteworthy, and we should get that on there right away. And also advocate with our local representation, our local representatives, our county, state, and federal level reps to advocate for that, to support it. I want to remind everyone again, back to school night for all high schools is Thursday, September 1st. At first, I never saw myself going to back to school night for my high school boys, but I realized that it's very important as parents that we support our high school students. If they don't want to go to back to school night, let's not force them, because I'm against forcing, especially teenagers, against things they don't want to do. But if they want to go and they look forward to going, it's good to accompany them. It's good to meet their teachers and see what kinds of things they're up to and what they're learning, and to support them and learn as much as we can about what we can do to help the teachers. Because only by meeting with the teachers and getting to know who their teachers are will we know what we can do to help better our students' education. I want to remind everyone to drive safely. Don't text while driving. Somebody, a family member of mine, was recently rear-ended exiting freeway exit. The person that hit her was going about 55, 60 miles per hour. Didn't brake at all. Threw the vehicle, a full-size SUV, threw it about 50, 60 feet straight down the street. Luckily, the person is okay and nothing happened, and it was like a miracle. But the front end of the vehicle that hit her was just completely smashed. So again, I want to remind everyone to drive safely, watch out for other drivers, don't text while driving, and sometimes I'm going down the road, I see people Facebooking while driving, scrolling up their
Yeah.
on their phone while they're driving. So I'm gonna start a don't Facebook while driving campaign, and we'll see how that goes. But just thank you very much for the opportunity, everybody, and I look forward to what's
Thank you, Mr.
to
Montes.
come. Thank you.
I'd like to piggyback on something Mr. Montes said. One of my pet peeves is having to sit through a light twice because the person at the front of the line was bent over like this, texting, and at the last second they get to go through, and the rest of us have to sit there and wait again. So, I agree, Edgar. No texting in the car at all.
Or whatever
Unless
they're
you're a
doing on their
passenger.
phone.
Okay, Board Clerk, Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, President O'Kelly. Before I forget, one of the most important things to education and the staff, the community, especially the students, please go check out fixthecap.com. That will, it'll be self-explanatory, fixthecap.com, all one word, fixthecap.com. And on with the other stuff here. A discussion of what do you want to be or do when you grow up. These are some of the best early conversations an adult can have with a young person. Kind of piggybacking on what my fellow, well, I call him my brother, Mr. Ayala has to say here. If students set a course by age 12, they're way ahead of their peers. They are no longer a rudderless ship. It will allow them to get on course to their future early. If it takes 10,000 hours to become proficient at something, imagine what a difference that 6 years can mean. 6 years at age 12, when you have the time to learn, time to be bored, get at your craft early. If somebody can just motivate them to think about it, they can change later. If they know they want to become something, and it's going to take an AS or a BS or whatever degree it is, then at least they're on task early, and they are more likely to be successful. From Bobby Knight, thought I'd never be quoting Bobby Knight, but everybody has the will to win. Few people have the will to prepare to win.
Ooh, well said.
Yes, that's why I took it. Okay, I was watching, as I always do, checking for STEM stuff, STEM advocates from Washington, a PowerPoint from James Brown, not that one, but the one in Washington. STEM Ed Coalition from April 9th, 2013. Where the STEM jobs will be, non-medical. This is taken from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Total STEM employment expected in 2020 is 9.2 million jobs. The jobs will be 51% computing, 27% engineering, 9% social sciences, 7% life sciences, 5% physical sciences, and 1% mathematics. That again is not including medical. What degree will do you the best? As you look at architecture, engineering, computer science and mathematics, life sciences, physical science, and social sciences, bachelor's degree is the most successful in all those fields, followed by a master's in everything but computer science, which is an associate degree, does better. I repeat myself, if you can get a certificate, a 2-year degree, a 4-year degree or more, it will be most beneficial to you in computer science. And 51% of the jobs will be available in 2020 will be in computer science. We need to do something about our teacher quality and STEM. So says James Brown from Washington and the STEM Coalition. STEM subjects have a rapid rate of change. STEM professionals make more than STEM teachers. How are we going to keep teachers? We don't have good indicators or systems for teacher effectiveness, which makes incentives difficult. STEM Master Teachers Corps is a very hot topic. This was part of that thing. And my favorite slide, because it does happen to be election year, what they ask at the end of every meeting on Capitol Hill: who has been talking to you about STEM issues? Right there. Joe Martinez. Thank you.
Mr. STEM.
Okay, and now Board Vice President, Ms. Walker.
So, just a couple announcements. If you have not heard about the Schools Not Prisons tour that's going around across the state, San Bernardino has been chosen as one of the 10 stops. We're the second stop on the tour for this area. And tomorrow will be an educational roundtable, literally talking about what are schools doing to support schools versus putting money into kind of punishment and punitive things for kids. I'm proud to say that I'll be there as I'm actually there. I've been asked to moderate the discussion, and then I will be joined by our members of our board, our superintendent, and some other key staffers around what we're doing, great things in Rialto around PBIS that help to prevent that kind of tide into the prison system, but focusing on investing in students. So I'm really excited about that. Saturday, there's a concert at Cal State San Bernardino for this tour. It's totally free at 5:30. So if you've got friends, family, and everything to go, definitely come in. And they've got some activities and free stuff and everything. It's a family event. So 5:30 on Friday at Cal State San Bernardino for the Schools Not Prisons tour. So please support. The other thing is I went to, my daughter had, at TRAP, they had their tech night, really supportive of what was going on. I'd never been before. And I got taught how to use the computer and how to check on my students' records and, you know, what they're doing and all these other support things that are there for students. One great thing, and I really want to say, my daughter is very smart girl, 4th grader, very smart, but she likes to stay on her phone all the time to read and do stuff on her phone. Since she's been in this class, for some reason, because they have AR, they have to read and they have all these points, my daughter literally left her phone at my house while she went to her dad's house for the next 3 days, so we split custody. She left her phone at my house, and I said, "You forgot your phone?" And she said, "I don't need it. I'll be back on the weekend." I said, "It's 3 days before you'll be back." She said, "That's okay. I have my books." I couldn't believe it. I was thinking in a minute she's going to run back in and come and get her phone. She did not come back and she didn't get the phone again until the weekend. The impact that program, that reading program, has had on her about how important it is to read, and a peer group of readers is so significant. So just shout out to Rialto Unified for the AR reading program and that kind of reinforcement and the reading. What is the millionaires reading? Some millionaire reader championship or something, competition that they've got, because she's like, "Oh, I'm going to read all those books, Mom." I'm like, okay. So very excited about that and what's going on there. And the last thing is just in reference to what's going on in the district. I have been a part of the strategic planning team. I was on the planning, strategic planning. We've come back to hear some of the action plans. So just excited about what's been going on with the strategic plan. And for those of you who participated, shout out and thank you for doing what you've done, because we've heard some great ideas today about what's going on and what are some of the opportunities that we have in the district. So for those of you, I'll see you at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow for the second day of review, and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Well, I'd like to add that I was a member of the Strategic Action Team throughout the summer, and it's one of those experiences that you're almost sorry to see it end, you know, because we get into such great discussions and exchanging ideas, and you love to hear the different points of view of everybody else on the team. And I just found it very rewarding and very enlightening, and I'm anxious to see how we implement things in the district. It's really exciting. I want to congratulate all 5 of the schools that were recognized tonight for their bronze PBIS recognition. I think that's wonderful, and I am so proud that this district is actively looking at alternative ways to handle some of our issues and bring these children up in a more positive, productive environment. And in a few years, I think we'll really reap the benefits after
Exactly,
it just
yes.
becomes second nature to everybody. I attended back to school night at Coursera and Jehu, saw exciting things happening at both schools, had great tacos at both schools. And that was a lot of fun. I ran into a lot of people I knew, and so it was overall a very fun night. And I'd like to add, as was mentioned earlier, this Saturday at Rialto Middle School is a Relay for Life event, which is very special to many of us. And I hope to see a lot of you there. It starts, I think, at what time?
8
At 8, and actually scheduled to go till 11, but I know it's one of those things people kind of come and go throughout the day and things like that. So it's always a very, what would I say, poignant and heartwarming event to attend. And that's about all for me. If you have high school students, as Mr. Montes said, please try to attend back to school night next Thursday, November 1st. September 1st, excuse me. I'm jumping ahead. And now let's move on with the agenda. Okay, next item on the agenda is public hearing. There is none. We move on with consent calendar items. All items on the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by the Board of Education members or the superintendent for individual action. Do I have a motion to approve consent calendar items reference E through J?
So moved?
Second.
Are there any pulls? Any discussion? No? All right, can I have a preferential vote by our student board member?
Aye.
Aye, and board vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next is the minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular Board of Education meeting? Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's part of what we just approved.
Yes.
All right, discussion action items, section K. Each discussion action item will be read individually and voted on individually. Number 1, approve an agreement with Pivot Learning Partners to provide principals with 5 coaches to lead 6 3-hour principal cohort coaching sessions to support coaching sessions for each of the 5 cohorts of principals and a project management lead to support the project effective September 1st, 2016 through May 30th, 2017. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is
Second?
All in favor? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, number 2. Approve the changes to the district bank accounts effective August 25th, 2016, reference K 2.1-2. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved?
Is there a second?
Second.
I wanted to check something for the public.
Okay.
Okay, when it says change to different district bank accounts, it's changing the signers, the signatories.
Signers of the accounts.
Yes.
Yeah, approve the changes.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So was that your question answered?
Yes,
Okay,
it
all
was.
in
Thank you.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, number 3, ratify an agreement with Therapy Travelers to provide 2 school psychologists from August 3rd, 2016 through December 30th, 2016 due to a shortage of school psychologists at the beginning of the 2016-2017 school year.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 4, approve Fawcett Raman Davies as an additional signer for nutrition services accounts effective August 25th, 2016. Motion to approve.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, number 5, approve amendment number 1 to the agreement with Sun Edison Government Solutions LLC to establish new milestone dates for commencement and completion of construction of the solar sites. Provide for liquidated damages, legal fees, and/or termination should there be significant delays, and increase the kilowatt rate from 0.117 per kilowatt hour to 0.127 per kilowatt hour to cover the rise in construction costs due to the wind load change at no cost to the district. Is there a motion to approve?
I would actually like to pull that item until, are we sure what we're going to do with that?
I thought we were in closed
Okay.
session,
Okay.
but
Is there a representative
the more
here?
we put.
Yes.
We're not approving
Yeah,
the
sure.
delay.
Questions?
Yeah, Mr. Butler is here from San Edison.
Would anybody else like to go first? I got a couple questions.
Oh, Mr. Martinez, did you have questions?
Certainly, okay. I'm troubled with the delay. And I've got some of the questions answered. But how many sites have you actually built out, not in Rialto, but in California in the last 5 years?
In California, in the last 5 years, off the top of my head, I believe the number is approximately 100 school sites.
Okay, and maybe the last 2 years?
In the last 2 years, my guess would be that would be closer to 25.
Okay. That's it for now.
Okay. Mr. Montes?
The charge that goes from 117 per kilowatt to 1.127 per kilowatt to cover the construction costs due to the wind load change says at no cost to the district, but isn't it an oxymoron? I mean, we're approving to change the kilowatt rate, and it states the reason, but then it says at no cost to the district.
Yeah, I didn't write the agenda item, so I'm not maybe the best person to
I
answer
think
that.
that
No,
there's-
well, I mean,
I think that-
is the cost not indeed?
Yes, the cost is going up to the district per kilowatt hour by 1 penny. Correct. The 0.117 to 0.127 is a 1 penny difference per kilowatt hour.
Right, but I mean, it is a cost to the district.
Yes, sir.
May I clarify, Board? What do we mean by no cost to districts? We're not investing any money to this project. Basically, it compromised realized savings over the 20 years term of the
Right.
contract. So what do we mean by no cost? The district not investing any money by presenting you this contract amendment and the rate change tonight.
Okay, thank you.
So no money up front.
Can I
That's right.
ask why, if you were coming if we had a contract to do schools in Rialto, you did not investigate or you did not look at our wind conditions here prior to establishing a price?
Sure. So at the time of our proposal, we did investigate, and we went to the city of Rialto, which DSA is the ultimate permitting authority, but they look to the individual city when it comes to wind loading because of Rialto is in what's called a special wind region.
Yeah.
As you probably know. At the time, the guidance from the city was 120 miles per hour and was within our standard design. We have a DSA pre-check, pre-approved plans from DSA for that wind load. While we got into our design, the city of Rialto actually changed their wind loading and came with new regulations that increased from 120 to 129. 129 now exceeded the wind loading of our DSA pre-check design. So what we did then is we worked with DSA, and we have 3 sites that are at this point fully permitted by DSA, fully approved for construction. We said, we understand, here's the wind load, here's our standard design. We worked with our structural engineer to determine what enhancements, structural, increasing the structural integrity of certain members, what we could do to make it still meet the DSA requirements and use our pre-check design. That required, among other things, special steel, and it required reinforcements in certain areas. That increased cost is what is the basis for the 12.7 cents.
Mr. Ayala?
Yeah, I got a question. The status of the parent company, without going into details, we just want to make sure that it's not going to affect in no way the completion of this project. Because if it did, that might make us look at it a little different. So you can
Appreciate
understand where
yes,
we're going
absolutely.
with this. Okay.
Yeah, I will say through that process with our parent company, we've never stopped work on your projects.
Okay.
We have not yet started construction, but we have continued to invest. We have continued to, we've worked with your staff on revising layouts, and we've been to every school site. I think just last week or the week before, we have mobilized surveyors and geotechnical engineers and utility staff to go out to these sites. So we've continued to invest. We've continued to move the project forward in spite of our parent company. In a matter of weeks and per the contract, no later than October 1st, we will demonstrate to the district that we have secured a permanent investor.
Okay.
Once we have secured that permanent investor, it's no longer Sun Edison. It is now the permanent investor who is standing behind the project. So you are at that point, there is no risk to the district.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Just, can I have a quick status on those 3 sites
Mhm.
that are ready?
Sure.
I mean, you said that they're ready, but yet nothing has been done, so no breaking ground, no?
We have not broken ground yet because we need the permanent investor in place first. So, like I said, no later than October 1st, that permanent investor will be in place. We believe it will be before that, as soon as the next several weeks. We will then begin the process of working with them to get ready for construction. You know, talk to construction contractors. And the biggest item is the steel. Like I mentioned, it's a non-standard steel we have to use. So that alone is a 10-week lead time on the steel. So getting all of that 10 weeks, you know, that is what led to our currently we're estimating no later than January 1st starting construction on those sites.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we had a motion and a second, I believe. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 No.
Okay, 4 ayes and 1 no. All right, number 6, approve the recommendations of the Administrative Hearing Panel, reinstatement hearings, case number 14-15-34 and 13-14-54. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 7, approve addendum to employment agreement between Rialto Unified School District and Dr. Cuauhtémoc Avila. Can I motion to approve?
So moved.
Could we specify the item for the public?
Well, then let's get a second, and then we'll have discussion.
Second.
Okay. And it's in its entirety, that's not the case. So what do we do here?
Well, were copies made available for
They're
the
available
public,
for public, yeah.
to review?
Mhm.
Or were those placed in the usual location?
Yes.
So copies are available for anyone that would like to pick up a copy.
Oh,
review it.
okay, but the public doesn't know what we're,
Well, it's not the whole list, so it's not the whole thing.
right, he has amended that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So as amended, do I have a motion to approve?
We already have that. We've already.
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and now it's on to adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Could we have that from our student board member?
I say so moved, right?
Yeah.
Second.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Good
We are adjourning at 8:20 p.m. Thank you all very much for being here tonight.